Well, it's good to talk about tourism. It's an uplifting sector to talk about. one of the more fun panels to be on today. Your Excellency, I want to start with you. I know tourism has been a big focus in Qatar, part of the diversification efforts. The numbers were really good. They were solid for last year. You're already at 5 million tourists versus your 2030 6 million targets. You're getting very close to your 2030 target.
Exactly.
Talk to us about how important you expect the tourism sector to be as a driver of Qatar's growth in the next few years.
Amazing. First, I'm very happy to be with you on stage with my brother Sébastien here and talking to this beautiful audience. As you know, everybody in the region or globally, they are looking to increase the number of visitors. In Doha or in Qatar, we succeeded to reach 5 million visitors in 2024, which is like 25% increase from 23. But let's take this opportunity when Sébastien here on the stage with me, we are focused more on room nights. First time we reached more than 10 million room nights in 2024, which is a metric allows us to measure the economic impact or economic growth. This is the most important, I think, for us in Qatar. And every hotelier knows about COSTAR, which is give you indications and numbers about where the tourists came from and how long they stay and things. And I'm very happy to find Qatar ranking #1 in the region with a growth around 22% in room nights, which even all Dubai or Saudi taking the lead in headlines. But #2 and 3 is Abu Dhabi and Kuwait of growth of room nights, around between 10 and 8%. We are building on this, and we will try to drive these numbers to grow and to have real impact in our economy.
Is it fair to say then it's not just about the number of tourists who come in, but how long they stay in Qatar?
Yes, this is what we're trying to focus on, how long they can stay in Doha, to extend the staycation here in Doha, and to find what the people looking for here in Doha about adventure, sun, sea and sand, more quality time with the families, and to use the diversified offering here in our city in Doha.
And Michael Bublé, if you're here this week.
Yes, Michael Bublé on Friday. I hope everybody have a chance to that.
So yesterday I had the opportunity to speak to His Excellency, the Prime Minister, and he said one line that caught a lot of attention, that the World Cup was sort of like an IPO moment for Qatar.
Yes.
So it's publicly trading now, Qatar, to continue the analogy.
Exactly.
What are the next big events we can watch out for in the next few years?
Actually, the big events non-stop activity for us to host here in Doha and to utilize the great infrastructure we have, the stadiums, the venues, the transportation, the connectivity, the great connectivity which Qatar Airways provide also. So in the end of this year, we are hosting 2 big tournaments, FIFA World Cup Under-17 and Arab Cup for the second time here in Doha, and the F1. So there is 3 major sports events happening in the last quarter of this year. And around it, there is many events in our calendar to activate this great events. And then and at the moment, we are hosting the World Cup for table tennis, and the 2027 Basketball World Cup. And 2030, we'll host the Asian Games for the second time.
Okay, so there's a lot to look forward to. Sébastien, let me turn it to you. I guess it's music to your ears to hear that His Excellency wants to focus on the number of nights, extending the number of nights that tourists remain in the country. How do you look to take advantage of that?
Well, I guess the first thing to say for me is I am in his hand. It's kind of actually interesting to admit we are extraordinarily depending from one another. I am depending on the government of Qatar in terms of vision, ambition, tourism plan, which the Excellency is now leading. And of course, for him to deploy and execute, he is a little bit depending on me and my peers. But let's start first with, he is the decision maker, and I have to listen, and I have to basically be devil advocate, and then I have to make sure I can fulfill the promise. That being said, people probably don't realize it, but I came the first time in this country in 1992, 33 years ago. And I've been coming to this country well above 100 times over the last 30 years. And we have the same baby blues. We, as French, we missed the Olympic of last year. That was the best time ever for France. You in Qatar, and I'm with you, we missed the soccer
As in
cup.
you have nostalgia.
Because no, it's nostalgia because that was the best time of all of us basically describing the best of Qatar and the best of France. So now we basically have to play on it, build on it, and revive it. And it's not that easy. What I've been saying for a lot of time, which is why I love this country, is you have everything. Qatar has everything. From the very first day, it started with Qatar Foundation, with university, with schools, with hospitals. Then Qatar Airways is a gem. But a lot of people don't know of the existence of Qatar Museum and so many other things. So what we need to do together, since it exists, since it's being invested, can we please show it off? And this is where we are today, and it's really building up for the last 24 months, better than we all expected. We just have to get going.
Certainly sounds like it from the numbers. So let me just ask you about those numbers. Paraphrasing what His Excellency said, the numbers into Qatar, big growth of north of 20%. Other countries in the region also, in the GCC, around 10%-ish. How does that compare to other pockets around the world?
Well, the world is very easy to predict, and I'm being, please agree with me, tourism travel industry is a blessed industry since 1970. That industry has been growing between 3 and 5% per annum for the last 50 years. New supply has been growing 1.5 to 2% per annum for the last 50 years. So you had a demand exceeding supply by 2 times. The next 20 years, for sure, demand is going to grow no longer 3 to 5, but probably 4 to 6. Supply will remain 1.5 to 2. So we're going into golden ages where demand is going to exceed supply by 3 times. Why? You need 3 cylinders to grow. Do you have a higher demography in the world? Answer is yes. Do you have a higher growth of emerging middle class? Answer is yes. Do you have a higher means of transport, whether it's road, trains, airport? The answer is yes. Now, you've seen GCC, and I was very happy His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah talked before. GCC, for me, is one country. He's so right. And GCC has been increasing since pre-COVID by 32% in terms of destination, which is 95 million. Oddly enough, since I'm very French, it's still not there yet on France alone, which is 100 million. But of course, GCC is going to be way beyond France probably in 2 years from today. So now it's a question, you have the demand, you have the supply, and what's so interesting? Out of the 1.6 billion people who travel, they go now much more to the Middle East, much more to Asia Pacific, and less to Europe. But what we need to do is, on any social media, any app, any corridor channel industry, we need to basically talk about it, which is why we have this forum today.
Yeah.
And we need people to stay longer, because it costs a fortune to get somebody to Doha. Make sure they spend that extra 2 nights.
So would you say for Accor specifically, this is the fastest growing region in the world for your business?
Yeah, what people, when they travel, half of social media content is on travel and tourism and food and beverage, half of it. Half of it is about souvenir. What is it that you like? You always forget what people say, you always forget what people act, but you don't forget what they make you feel. No, but I'm very serious. Everything about feeling, sentiment, memories, souvenir, and it's very tough to execute. So what we need to do here, and which is why I'm so attached to Qatar Museum, Qatar Exhibit, fashion industry, there's a lot of things you can do through the luxury segment, which is easier than the standardized mid-scale economy segment.
Your Excellency, talk me through what Qatar is doing on medical tourism. This is an interesting conversation you and I were having in the back, and I'd love to hear more about it and what your plans are.
Exactly. You know, Qatar is one of the highest countries in the world have spending on healthcare. And I think His Excellency the Prime Minister mentioned this yesterday. We are spending around 12% from our annual budget on the healthcare. And we are in Qatar Tourism, look at it as like it's an opportunity. And we worked very closely with the Ministry of Health to develop the new health tourism strategy, and we just finished and presented to the PM and got approved. This can help us to capitalize on this investment, to call people to come and enjoy the quality of healthcare here in Doha, and to target on this audience as main target for us. Please come, enjoy our quality of healthcare and our quality and safety in the city. This can drive also more people to Doha and to justify this big amount of investment putting in this sector and also serve our tourism sector. But always what I'm looking for, to use this technology to talk about these projects, about these initiatives. And this is what we are focusing now with AI, with the big tech companies in Doha, and put tourism more closely with the people, to let people, everyone to know what they can have and what they can enjoy here in Doha. If we are not speaking enough as Qatar Tourism, there is many tools we can spread the information and the services, and it's really very interesting working on this.
Is the purpose of that to attract a different demographic than who is currently coming?
Yes, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not looking to drive the numbers high, rather than to stay more on the quality of visitors, to enjoy our excellent service here in Doha. In Qatar Tourism, we have something called Qatar Excellence Academy. It's covering all aspects in this sector, from museums, tour guides, DMCs, taxi drivers, teaching people, even tour operators out of Doha, about what we have here in Doha, and using also our partners as Accor or any other hotel company to talk about Doha and promote Doha more and more.
Sebastian, you were saying you've been in Qatar since 1992, is that what you said just now?
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel like because you've been here longer, you have a competitive advantage over the other hotel operators who are looking at the region as well? Because there has to be more competition now.
I wish the answer is yes. I don't believe so.
Why not?
Well, because the Qataris are very demanding. They love me for who I am, but they want tomorrow.
That's a good thing. That's a high standard, though.
So it's no. I think I have a better read on the Qatari officials and have a very deep relationship. But that's good. But that's not good enough. So I know, and the more I know them, the more they ask for me. So I guess. But seriously, it's the difficulty of this country, and it's one, and it's being addressed. We don't have enough luxury beach resort experiences. They built it in Dubai. They are building it today on the Red Sea in Saudi. They built it in Abu Dhabi. And we are, I say we as Qatar, we are late in this country. And most of the luxury hotels today still don't have great beach access, which is why altogether for the last 4 years, we basically launched this Land of Legends and the golf resort, all that 5 billion investment being made by Qataris and non-Qataris, by the way. The theme park, the water park, the retail done by Land of Legend, which I am associated with, we've been saying to the Qatari official for the first time, we want non-Qatari to put the money at work. We're going to put skin in the game. We're going to build it. But that is what's missing in this country, is people will come here if they have entertainment, leisure, water park. I know Qatar Fan exists and Qatar Fan is being built. I'm just saying we need more of them and we need to go quick at it because other countries will offer the same thing and hopefully not sooner, but we need to catch up. Sorry, I should not be saying we. I'm an outsider, but I guess...
No. Thank you for this frank answer, but all what he said, it's already been addressed on. We happy that the Sébastien project has been announced, and it's a big investment, 20 billion real investment, I think will drive the tourism sector forward, and as a new product and new offering to utilize the beautiful beaches of Qatar.
What's the name of the project?
It's a Sébastien project. It's 20 minutes drive from this hotel, and it will have the great Land of Legends theme park with different kind of offering resorts will be around it with a great golf course, which will give a great experience for the visitors. We'll announce tomorrow, and we will sign here the first PPP project between Qatar Tourism and Public Works Authority and Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And further details will be announced in tomorrow's press conference. It's a project about development, new development for the new beaches here in town, in Doha. We are developing also the beach for this hotel, which is missing. And by the way, we stopped licensing new hotels in Doha. We have around 40,000 key rooms and 7,000 key rooms in pipeline. The only hotels I will gonna give a license to it is beach or waterfront resorts and hotels. This is what's missing in Qatar. He's right, but we are working on this.
Sébastien was onto something then. How do you think about the interplay between luxury and sustainability?
Actually, luxury and sustainability is very well integrated here in Qatar, in every and each project being developed for the recently in Doha. For worth to mention, Ras Brook resort, we have great Habitats hotel there. It's been built in a Marine Biosphere reserve. It's UNESCO designated area. It was very environmental strict areas, but we developed great luxury resort there. QNCC, the Qatar National Convention Center, it's one of the latest, it's been there for 10 years, and it's the first convention center in the region have LEED certificate, which is also focused on sustainability and luxury. Musharraf downtown, it's very well designed as a luxurious place and also environmentally friendly. So luxury and sustainability is really very well integrated by design in Qatar.
Sébastien, earlier you were talking about people remember how a place made them feel as opposed to what they did. How do you maximize customer experience in your hotels?
Well, it's all about service. We talked about AI a little bit. AI will be an enhancer before and after the stay of the client. During the stay, anything which is human interaction, smile, service, expertise, they do something before you ask, is what you remember. And I hope all of you staying here in Fairmont and Raffles will remember the quality of the people you have met. I want to do a side note because I don't want to forget about it, and I haven't talked about it with you, Your Excellency, is what we need to do together soon is we need to target India. India will be a game changer when it comes to international emitting markets. People, we go to India quite a lot. You have today 40 to 50 million Indians traveling away from India. Americans are 160, Chinese are 160 million. I guarantee you within 3 or 4 years, that number will go from 40 to 50 to 150 million, only within 3 years. Those people from India will go east, they're going to go to Southeast Asia. West, they're going to go to GCC. And those people don't know the world yet. They are the emerging middle classes. They need to be caretakered. We within Doha, we can welcome a lot of Indians, hundreds of thousands will actually reach your target. We need to go at the source. Qatar Airways is the best equipped. Indigo Airline is the best equipped. This is how we should actually battling together, is go to those source and basically invent for them what they're looking for, which is warmth, culture, interactions, entertainment, and memories. It's absolutely doable. Sorry, I don't know why I say that now.
But it's worth to say on this point, we are, India is in tier 1 of our priority markets. And what we just published recently, that every Indian who got UK and Schengen, US, Australia visa can enter Doha with visa on arrival. I think this will enable more to target more Indian visitors to Doha. Also Pakistan. So this is a very important market. We are looking for more slots for Qatar Airways with India. There's great potential. And I think they will have the great experience here in Qatar.
Final quick question for you. I'm going to put you on the spot. So I have only ever been to Qatar for business purposes. Let's say I want to come and do a one-week visit because you want longer hotel stays, and I want to stay for a week with my family. What should I do?
It will not be enough to explain all this for you in this 30 seconds.
Obviously, I have to take a Qatar Airways flight to get here.
A lot of things. I'm sure you will have the best time for you, especially as a family. It's suitable for all types of travelers, all different ages, with the wide offering of shopping experience or culture experience in beautiful museums here in Doha, traditional souk, the culinary, the food in Doha is really great. And I'm sure there's many of us, food is the first factor to decide where to go. And I'm sure they can have the best meal here in Doha for you.
Joumanna, the head concierge here is called Randy. There is 3,800 clés d'or in the world. Accor has, I think, 120 of them. Randy will give you by 5 p.m. tonight absolutely everything for 7 days within Qatar. You're going to have it. You'll be very surprised. Everything has been prepared for the World Cup. When we send 12,000 people here, it's already existing. It's already being planned. Make sure you do spend a week. I'll give you all the excuse in the world, but yeah, 5 p.m. you'll have it in your hotel room.
And by using Visit Qatar application, it will give you a set or already itineraries for 3 days and 4 days and 5 days itineraries. It's already there.